Congressman Gregory Meeks of New York, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman.
Good being with you.
As I understand it, you've described your support as being generally behind the president's plan, but you do have some concerns that we've heard from many of your colleagues as well, including what you've seen here as a sunset clause, meaning you want a clear, more specific timeline on when the president believes that this operation will be done.
Yes, well, I think that in this request, it's 3 years. But
Yes.
the problem comes is the 2001 resolution, of which the president says he has the authority to act now, that does not sunset. So we would like a provision within the request by the president to sunset the 2001 also, so that in 3 years, everything sunsets, and we can then look at the scenario, what's going on, and make a determination about what to do based upon what's happening on the ground, and not give whoever the future president is just a blank check. So we want to make sure that whoever the president still has to come back to Congress, we can debate the issue and make that determination. And I think also what we want to do is to make sure there's a little more clarity on the fact that there will not be any sustained ground troops on the ground, that the president should have, I think, the utilization of special operators and the special forces. That is important, but we don't want a sustained ground troop where you can send hundreds of thousands of troops and we engage in the kind of war that we were in over the last 10, 15 years in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah, but when you look at the language, the president has said it makes it very clear, as well as some of his key advisors. UN Ambassador Samantha Power was on yesterday and Morning Joe, all saying that it is clear language that there would not be a mass number of U.S. boots on the ground. That boots on the ground are needed, but they do not expect them, and nor do they intend for them to be U.S. troops. So why is it that the language in this proposal and the clear language the president says he is presenting is not enough for you and some of your colleagues?
Well, there's some words, and I think that one of the things that, giving the president some of the benefit of the doubt, I want to sit down, and a number of us will sit down with his legal counsel to see, because it's in the language. I'm happy to be a lawyer, and we've got to work. Every word means something, and so there's certain words that mean something to me may mean something to someone else differently. So we're going to have to talk that out, because, the hardest vote for a member of Congress is when you go to vote and you may have someone's son or daughter on the line where they could lose their lives. So for me, I've got to dot every I and cross every T. Now, I understand, and this to me is a very different resolution than what took place in 2001. Clearly, when 2001, Saddam Hussein and weapons of mass destruction, I was not convinced that there was anything there. Here, there is a threat by ISIL, I think, to either the United States or some of our interests. So we've got to do something, but we've got to make sure that we know what we're doing, and I think that it's just dotting I's and crossing T's.
And so with that said, just quickly here, we've got this new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, Marist poll, and it says 54% of Americans want their representative to vote in favor of the president's request. It included a majority of Democrats, Republicans, and independents in this, split on whether or not they have confidence in the strategy. 45% said they have a great deal or good amount of confidence. 48% said they have little to no confidence. Again, this is just a snapshot, because in reality, I think if you ask the average person what is the proposal or what does it entail, they would have to admit they do not know. They are going off of, I think, what we're seeing in the headlines, and certainly this fear that's built, rightfully so, globally regarding ISIS and what that terror group is capable of.
And here's where I tell my constituents, on this kind of vote, bear with me, because I think I will have more knowledge than they will. I have to make a vote, and I have to live with that vote. And so I'm going to do on their behalf as much research and investigation as I possibly can, and make a vote not based upon a poll, not based upon, emotion,
right,
based upon the facts as they're given to me and as I try to obtain them, and make that, because in the end, when you make these kind of votes, you've got to sleep with yourself. And that's exactly what I'm going to do on this vote.
Congressman Gregory Meeks of New York, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure.